This is Sugar and Mr. Hot Sauce 662.
This part two, they already know.
All right. So the reason why, um, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I don't know. It's what you were saying was like I was like, man, it's stuff that I've heard people say before, but it's this what you when you said it's just so matter of fact. Like
You're a woman. You're not. It's not gonna process. It's not gonna come to you. It's gonna be like, no, I don't believe it. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I
I
mean,
didn't say it was
it's,
unbelievable. It's
it's
believable.
I'm saying, I'm just saying how majority of women do it. In some kind of way, y'all men have to think like us women. We are both humans. Y'all have to think like us. Y'all got to be monogamous. Y'all got to be emotional. Y'all even want us to be emotional.
You guys are emotional. You guys just you have different emotions. Like your anger is emotion. Your you being opinionated, like different things that you do is a type of emotion. Like how you decipher your emotions can come out differently. When sometimes women's is anger, sometimes it's crying. Like those are different types of emotions,
Yeah,
right?
everybody have emotion. You're a human being, but y'all are more emotional beings.
You're talking
Y'all do
about
more,
sensitive
y'all do more
emotions.
things with y'all emotions. We more laid back, chill.
Nah, y'all
I just
angry and
want to chill out.
aggressive with y'all emotions sometimes too. So you don't think anger and aggression is a type of emotion?
But you don't. I mean, they're emotions, but we don't. We don't just act on them. You don't just see. Just imagine a bunch of men running around angry all day, every day. Come on, man. We don't do that. But y'all are
Isn't
emotional.
that the hood?
Nah, that's brainwash shit. Niggas don't have to be mad at each other to go shoot each other up. They just doing it because it's trending.
What? Are you why would so you what?
They do it because it's trending. It's trending to pull up on the ops and shoot them. That's why they're doing it. They're listening. They're being influenced by music. That's just a thing to do. They don't really have nothing. They really just want to get money and chill out. Um, mess with some girls or something. But what's trending to do is just a trending thing to do.
It's fighting right now for
No,
some
no, no,
reason is
no. They
trending.
don't fight. They don't fight.
No, I'm saying like I feel like I see I don't know. I feel like a lot of stuff is algorithm though too. So it's like I'm not sure if I done messed up my algorithm by clicking on the wrong videos and I see certain stuff. But I feel like now more than ever, I see a lot of women who are putting their hands on men, and then when the men then reacts the same, they're upset. I feel like men shouldn't put their hands on women, and women shouldn't put their hands on men the same. And
And
that's my opinion.
your opinion is a good opinion. That's facts.
Because even
Shit.
when you think about the whole Meg the Stallion situation, the girl said he shot me. He did that. Like he pow me or whatever. So what's the question? Like, why is it being questioned that her friend may have done it? This person may have done it. That person may have done it. And it's
Um,
like she said who did it. So why wouldn't you believe her?
I think that's a reaction though. That was if he did do that, that's a reaction.
And then people are like, why did she get back in the vehicle if he did it? And
I don't
then
I don't know the details surrounding that, but that sounds like a reaction of a nigga if he shoot a female. Like,
he like 5'3", 5'2", 5'3". So he a little dude, and she like 5'9", 5'10". So people are saying that he was in fear because she's a big woman and she was super aggressive when she's drinking and all this other stuff. My thing is, I feel like I feel like when people be like, "Man, f the black community," sometimes I understand because it's like if it's somebody famous, you don't know if they're gonna be with you or not. Like like a lot of times I feel like the Black community supports, and you can correct me or not correct me, but give your opinion on it. But in my opinion, I feel like the Black community and Black men specifically are components to be fight for Black men, and a lot of Black women fight for Black men, and nobody fights for Black women, because if something happens with a Black girl, a Black woman, if she's raped, if she's shot, if anything happens to her, it seems like more than not people are just saying like, what did she do? But when a dude do it, like for instance, the whole George Floyd thing or whatever, when the knee was on his neck and stuff, nobody said anything about him being erratic or him being on drugs, him acting a fool. What did he do? What did he do? Nobody
They
cared
did.
what he did.
They
But
they
people,
did say something about
but
him
not
being
in
on
mass
drugs.
amounts. Like people were fighting. People were. It was Black women on the front
Because
line
at the end of the day, it's still wrong. He was already on the ground. You didn't have to put your knee in his neck. You know what I'm
I
saying? You
mean,
didn't have to kill
I don't
him.
know if you be watching the
You
news,
know,
but out here, I think it was last week or the week before, this guy, and he happened to be a white guy. He this Black guy, he went into a restaurant with they said it was a fake gun and trying to rob the restaurant. And he wasn't even forgetting them about $30. And
I
this
seen that
guy, the guy shot him, and
he overkill.
and
But I
but what
said,
I'm saying is, I mean, you going somebody, don't nobody know you got a fake gun and not to look real.
right, right.
So my thing is, how do you fight for someone doing wrong?
Well, you don't. Life is about decisions. You gotta make you gotta do right. You do right, right, follow. You do wrong, wrong, follow. You went in that store to rob and you got hit up.
Because
You
the thing
got hit
about it is,
up.
okay, within a couple of weeks, and I'm not sure the exact date, but within that same time period that the whole George Floyd happened, the Breonna Taylor situation happened too. Breonna Taylor didn't do nothing. She literally was in her house, and they chose to and they ran into her house and they shot her, and they were in the wrong house, and she literally did nothing. There wasn't a mass amount of fight.
Listen,
There was
I
a
think the
there
difference
wasn't a
was,
mass amount of anything for her.
I think the difference was, it wasn't that. If they would have caught that Brianna shit, it would have been something massive. If they would have caught that on tape. But she still, it still was the outcry wasn't big because it wasn't heavily promoted because the police knew they was in the wrong, so it wasn't heavily pushed. The George Floyd thing was on the internet and it spread it. It
But it
spread it like
spread
what?
because people were sharing it.
Okay, because we're seeing it.
It's just like
I
the
think
outrage is
the outcry
always
would have been
different.
bigger if Breonna would have been bigger than George Floyd if the Breonna situation was caught on tape, which is probably was, but police is not letting that footage out because they know the outcry on it.
I don't even know if it was count on tape. I mean, count on tape because they said those were a bunch of undercover police officers, and they were coming in their house with regular clothes on. So they weren't even like they had guns, but they weren't even coming in there with a full, you know what I'm saying, police garments or
But
outfits on.
pay attention to a lot of the big outcries where they burning down cities and they're city to city, they're marching and they're looting and stuff. All of these incidents are caught on camera where you can see that, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't worth nobody's life, you know.
Breonna Taylor's situation wasn't worth her life.
It wasn't worth her life.
George Floyd's situation wasn't worth the life. What's his name? That
What I'm
wasn't
saying wasn't
Antonio
caught on
Castillo.
camera. I think if the more innocent a person, just like the Breonna Taylor and what's the lady that was in Texas, they started making laws after her. She was at a traffic stop or something. I can't think of her name. See, it was a big outcry about that because it was on tape.
Oh, you talking about the what was her? Her birthday is like the same day as mine too. Um,
Yeah, it's different when it's caught on
I
tape.
know who you're talking about, but I can't remember her name. I don't know. It's like the outcry is different. It's like I hate to have the conversation. You love having the conversation, but I hate having the conversation. I look like Uncle Ruckus. But you love having that conversation between male and female, men and women type of conversations. But it's like I feel like it's divisive, and it's not gonna help it. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like some conversations need to be had. So I feel you when you want to have these type of conversations, but I feel like a lot of times it doesn't help.
I just think black men in general are under attack. But as far as like by the police, but the even if a woman is in a situation, because you could have put a woman right there, that would have been even worse. If imagine the outcry if George Floyd was a woman, that would have been
I don't even think it would have been an outcry like it was. Honestly and truly, I feel like a lot of times people don't give a damn about black women.
No, somebody putting a knee in a black woman. Come on, man, that would have been.
I honestly don't, because this happened. I've seen it. I've seen several videos when the same situation, she didn't die, but I've seen a lot of situations, especially in the last like couple of years, and all these body cam footages being brought out and stuff like that to the public. There's been a lot of situations to where women, black women specifically, have been done wrong by police officers. I just don't think the outcry is as loud when it happens to a woman. I want to a black.
If they died, the outcry is gonna be crazy. Sandra Bland, that's her name.
That's her name, Sandra Bland. I think her birthday is February.
And the fact that you know her name, that's how big the outcry was.
The outcry, it wasn't as vast as it was for a lot of other people who were in the wrong.
She got laws in Texas named that the Sandra Bland Act. They did her family get compensated? Was it was marches? It just we seen George Floyd die right in front of our eyes. We didn't see what happened to Sandra Bland, but it still had
you right. It had an impact for sure. And I bring stuff like this up it's white, black, male, female dynamic because I think I've told you before, but the situation that happened with my brother 2 years ago, it'll be 2 years next month. He died literally in a racist white small town in Illinois, and racism is still apparent, and we know that because of the simple fact that a 22, 23-year-old white boy can literally hit a person thinking was a deer on the freeway, and because one police officer with no evidence to say that it was a black guy running in and out of traffic 10 o'clock in the morning when this is 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and the coroner just ruled it a suicide. That's how you know racism is still there and apparent. Yeah. These police officers are doing what they want to do,
and they do what they want.
And I don't understand how coroners can just go on the without no. He had his foot was severed, half of his leg was severed, his jaw was punctured, his pelvis was cracked in half.
If it's not caught on camera and then that same video is uploaded to the internet where people can see for themselves, they gonna rewrite the story. Even if you see some stuff, they're gonna try to rewrite the story around it.
And I think it's terrible though that it's still happening though.
They couldn't rewrite George. They try to rewrite Sandra Bland, what happened to her. Because you didn't actually see her die. But once you actually see them die like George Floyd, then it's hard to rewrite it. They still gonna try to.
But it's tough. It's tough because even when you because I reached out for instance, like I reached out to all the big name black lawyers who are always in the front of civil rights issues when it comes to Black matters. I reached out to the NAACP of Illinois, Indiana, Texas. Like none of them were budging. No lawyer wanted to take the test.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. It's like this. Say for instance, you on a job. You hired with an employer, right? and they say something, they fire you for some racist reason, and they tell you, unless you have, now if you record them firing you for this racist reason, you have evidence, that's when people gonna pull down, lawyers gonna take your, you know what I'm saying? That's when Al Sharpton coming, you know what I'm saying? If you have this recording.
But they don't even care. Like, the thing about it is, I have a lot of evidence showing that they were lying, because he was at Walmart at the time they said this crazy guy was going in and out of traffic. So even with the proper evidence, people believe the words of Mr. White Man more than they do a lot of times the black woman, which is me. Because the fact of the matter, I was trying to sue, you know what I'm saying, the Illinois police department, the like the what is it, Marion County Police Department. Like, okay. I was trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, I was trying to go for the, because I'm like, y'all didn't even properly investigate this. Y'all didn't get the guy that hit my brother. First of all, he thought he hit a deer. They didn't give him a breathalyzer test. They didn't give him a drug test. He didn't get arrested. None of that. He just said, I was texting on my phone and I thought I hit a deer, and nothing happened.
That's definitely wrong, especially if you was texting on your phone. But at what point, when did they find him to get him a breathalyzer? Was it the next day when
No, the same day. The guy ended up stopping because there was a couple of cars behind him, and I think the lady, like, it was a lady that happened to be a nurse that resuscitated my brother or something like that. She was like he was basically dead for like, all right, I think they said he was gone for like 15 minutes or something like that. And he ended up being brain dead. And he was in the hospital for like 10 days. And then they, we took him off the respirator or whatever. But it was like a whole tragedy, like the whole situation.
So you was suing the county, you were suing the police department for just trying to rewrite a different scenario?
For saying that it was suicide when it was obvious that the person said he was on the phone and he said he thought he hit a deer. So obviously he wasn't paying attention. They didn't do any type of drug test, breathalyzer test. He didn't get arrested. He had no charges, nothing.
Okay.
So basically improperly doing the case. Like, they lit like this shouldn't have happened. This shouldn't have happened at all.
He said he was texting and
he said he was.
He's what, man?
He said he thought he hit a deer. He didn't know he hit a person. And mind you, this is 5 o'clock in the afternoon, bright outside, not dark, not even almost dark outside.
Yeah, that's supposed to be handled differently, though.
And so I say all that to say, public outrage.
That was in the report. He said he was texting and thought he hit a deer. Oh my God.
And that's how public outcry can shift and change things more than anything. Because if the public, if I were to have took it to the public and all that stuff, like, the public outcry of that would have basically forced them to do that. And then it was crazy because I looked up that sheriff, and that sheriff was a sheriff out of Alabama, and he ended up leaving Alabama because he had a case to where this black lady, he beat her up so bad she went blind, and she's still blind in one of her eyes, and she ended up suing the police department. She sued someone, and like, when I looked it up 2 years, like about a year and a half ago, she was still going through the case. So I'm not sure what happened after that. But yeah, like, he was the same sheriff was in Alabama in some bullish.
Man, they just pretty much, they gotta have. That's why the body cameras are there, man. They gotta have the body cameras on to.
But I don't even think. But that had nothing to do with the body camera, because even if they had the body camera that said all that, like, I called. I was like, because you can pay for the 911.
Oh no, not in your situation. I'm talking about when they beat the woman.
Oh, absolutely. You're right. Absolutely. And then it's like they just shooting people. It's
But
like they,
in your situation, if he said he was texting, it they just try to sweep that under the
they
rug.
literally swept it under the rug. It was a small ass town, less than
They didn't know
1,500
how to
people.
handle that. If it's a
Like
real small town, they
it was
not
a
used to that.
very less than 1,500 people in the town.
See, they ain't know how to handle that. They ain't know. You could have brought you could have brought the town down on that one. With a. They probably
If
have lawyers
anybody is
in that
watching this
county.
and they know what to do with this case, please let me know. Email me. I'll put my email on here. If you message under here, and I will send you my email and send me yours. Because if anything can be done, I definitely want justice for my brother. His name is Colleen Jones, and I do want justice for that.
Yeah, yeah. And if it's a small town, it just take one nice lawyer to bring that back up, and that you're gonna shake that whole town because they just didn't know how to handle that. They when it's that small, they're not used to it. They don't know how to handle it. See, if that would have happened in Chicago, you know what I'm saying?
Because it was like outside of St. Louis. It's like it's called Cicero. I believe the town is called Cicero, Illinois. And it literally has probably I'm giving them a couple hundred people, giving them 1,500. It's a very small town. And then the other town that had some crazy guy, they didn't say what color the guy is, but they said it was some crazy guy running in and out of traffic. I tried to get the 911 tapes for both. They said they had no 911 tapes saying that anybody was running in and out of traffic. And basically the sheriff, it sounded like he made it up.
He about there, yeah. He sound like to me he made it up, and I
Yeah,
wasn't nowhere around, but I know how them small towns are.
small, especially
They gonna
small
keep it
racist
on the
towns.
road. They couldn't take that heat. They couldn't
Like
take that heat.
it was terrible. But anyway, this is the second episode. Thank you guys for watching. Again, hopefully you guys go ahead and check that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? My social media is Love Me Some Sugar, SUGA. And what's your social media for people to follow you?
Hey, at Hot Sauce 662, all platforms, hit me up.
Mine is Love Me Some Sugar, all platforms as well. You guys have a great day and thank you for watching.